This video is to give you some tips on working on InDesign specifically for this WVU branding project that we're doing. So a couple things is one, when you put your text in, you might not see the entire phrase that you've copied and pasted into a text box. But what you are going to notice is this little red plus sign, and that means that there's more text. So in InDesign, you can take the box that your text is in and stretch from any sides, and it will not destroy the text. It will not stretch it. You're not actually changing the vector of the text. You're just changing the container, which is the text box. So if I make it too small, you're not going to see any text because the width of those words was too wide. All right, so for the text box, you're using your black arrow, so your selection tool, and you have the entire box selected, and this is where in your character styles you can define whether it's your headline style that we made, or if it's your title, your subheadline, your body, your caption. So you probably made more than I did. So I'll look at this and I'll say, oops, I'm missing those last words. This is pretty big. There are some buttons up here where it can say like fit frame to content, and it will resize your box to actually fit your content. So that's this little button right here. All right, so we worked on sizing pictures. So let's say you have your picture selected. You already sized it to 8.5 by 11, which is a typical piece of paper, and also the size of your assignment. So you can drag that picture from your desktop to InDesign, drop it, and what you'll see is it gives you this little thumbnail, and wherever I now click my mouse is where it's going to place it. So when I drag this over, one thing that you'll find is, oh no, it's on top of all of my stuff. I don't know how to move it to the right place. So in all your Adobe programs, you have a lot of layers, and there is a palette for this, a window layers. If you click on it, it will bring up another window, and you can close it down so you can see each item on my artboard or on my paper has its own layer, and where this blue square is, that's indicating which one is selected. So here's the WVU background JPEG. If I just go here, it hasn't changed my selection. I'm just on that layer. If I click this blue, now you can see that this indicator around the picture has highlighted. So in your layers palette, you can grab and drag. So I can grab it to the back. I can also grab it and move it back up to the front. You can also do window, let's see, object, arrange, send to back. Okay. So now that's to the back. I can zoom in, zoom out. So zooming in and zooming out. Command plus on your Mac zooms in. Command minus zooms out. I can hand move my picture to where I want it. If you get your picture somewhere and you know that's where you want it, you don't want to change it, sometimes locking your layers is really helpful. That locked everything, right? So I can also just click. The second column is the lock, so I can click on the layer that I want, and it will actually show a little lock here. Okay, with your text selected, remember you can change text color over here, and the first square affects the container. If you click the T, now it will affect the text. So I can see that my fill for my text is black. And if I come in here, we'll just do white. Gonna also go into my window color swatches, and we made our WVU swatches. So here, again, I have this affect my container or the text. I can click paper, which is white, blue, gold. I'm going to go back to paper. All right, so this text, I copy and paste it in, and it comes in as just the default style as none, but I know that I want it to be my body text. So with it selected with the black arrow, I can have that box. Click WVU body. Now it's turned to Helvetica. I can double click into it to get one word. I can triple click to get all of the paragraph. Remember, you can adjust the size by just moving the container box width and height. So you're going to be looking for creative ways of how to fit your text into your design. Remember that we have these, on mine it's kind of this bright pink line that's showing my internal margin, and you're always looking for ways to align. So for me, I'm going to have my text align just with the top of those margins so that I have even left and even right. Now, you might have a long headline and you might realize, you know what, I only want Forged by the Fearless to be my WVU headline, and I'm going to make Innovation Will Be my title. So in this case, I double click in, I'm selecting Innovation Will Be, Command X cuts it, I go back to my selection tool, take my type tool, click and drag, so I made my box, and now I Command V to paste. Work? Let's see. So it probably did work, but it's too big. So when I drag open, I see that, oh, it is in there. So now I can select it, and I'm going to go ahead and make it my subheadline. Now I can click this fit frame to content, so I make it a small text box. Now I can align, still paying attention to my margins. And to get it really exact, I can zoom in. I'm going to try to get the same leading that I have here as in there. So right now I have it as 2 boxes, and that's okay because I can eyeball it pretty well. There are other ways that we could make it exact. Now for this one, I see there's a lot of space at the bottom, so I can go ahead and click my fit to text again. All right, so that brings in kind of a tight unit for my headline. So maybe my body text aligns below it. I can make it fit again. If I want it to be white text, I would click to the T. So now I'm changing the color of my text, clicking paper. Okay, so you're starting to fit some things in. You are going to have diagonals in your design. So from Illustrator, we made diagonals. You could grab one. Okay, I'm going to say edit, copy, come back to InDesign, edit, paste. So this has brought a diagonal in. From here, I can change its color. Let's say it's still, I want the words on top, so I could say object, arrange, bring to front. So I could use this to kind of frame and point. You needed to bring in your WVU logo. So as you're doing that, from your brand center, you can download the logos. So I'm going to do a 1-color lockup on dark background. So I click on this. It's put it onto my desktop. I have 3 different types of files, and I'm going to use an EPS, which is a vector file. So I can just drag it onto InDesign. It will give me, similar to the photo, a kind of thumbnail. I'll click. Now I have the logo. Now, it's different with a photo or a vector. If I go like this, I am hiding part of it, right? It is not resizing itself like the text is. So one thing you can do is you can say fit frame to content. So now at least I have my frame to the content. Now if I want to scale, I do it a little bit differently in InDesign. Then I'm going to hold down Command and Shift, and I only pull from the corner. So anytime we're scaling in any Adobe programs are only from the corner. Now I can pull from the corner, and resize, but I'm holding down Shift and Command. I haven't let go of those on my keyboard. Okay. And in this design, I may choose to balance the heavy headline that we have in the top left with the logo on the bottom right. All right, so those are some of your